Hello amazing family, this is Hadija from the Parenting Mindset Shift, a place for parents to find clarity, confidence and peace in their parenting journey. And today I want to talk about the power of repair. Oh my goodness, the power of repair. The first time I came across this term was from Becky Kennedy, and she has a beautiful TED Talk that I'm going to put the link into below so you can have a full extent of what she's talking about. But what I love about that is the fact that I heard about it not too long ago. I mean, maybe last year I think it was, but I was excited to see that I was actually doing that before in my parenting. I just didn't know it was a thing. I just felt like it was the right thing to do at the time. So what is the power of repair? The power of repair is to be in a situation with your child, and it can be applied for any relationship. But in that case, Becky Kennedy is talking about an example as a relationship with your child and you and a parent and a child. So it's the moment where you have this moment where you're upset at your child, and then you're out of character and you're yelling and you start yelling at your child, even though you may feel and think that it's justified because he was not supposed to be in that space at the moment. But then what happened is he goes to his room, and both of you are upset. You like cooking, and she's talking about this scene that for her own experience. But for me, I will be in a situation where I will lose my temper with my child, and he not even letting him or her explain what they were trying to do, and we are both upset. Go to your room, you go to your room, and then in the room, what's happening? In the room, what I remember thinking is, they are not going to the room thinking that they did something wrong. That mom and dad is like, they are not going to have the rational calm down. They're just going to reflect on what they did and feel bad about themselves. And the feeling bad about themselves, there is this moment where there is this difference between shame and when you understand what you did and then learn from it. But when you stay in that shame state, you are not going to grow from it. And then the power of repair is the moment where the parent who was upset with the child is now trying to regulate the emotion. So you need to find a way in that space where you are both upset, and I will be in situation with my child and be like, okay, I can see that right now I'm going to lose it. I can see that right now I'm so upset, but I cannot talk. So I need to stop this conversation right now. I need to go somewhere, and we are coming back regulated, and we can have a conversation about what just happened. So you do that, and when you do that, you show that you master your emotion, you show that you care about the relationship, and you show that you're not here to say things that are hurtful to them. So it's important to step back and realize what just happened and what's the impact of what happened, and then go back to the room and have this conversation. And it doesn't have to make you feel like you are always the one apologizing or always the one that has to go to the room. Because you're a parent, you want to make sure that whatever you want to convey earlier, that you convey in a yelling way, you still convey it, but now in a more regulated way. So you go back to the room, and we are talking about, it was not about you, it was about the behavior. You interrupted me at this moment, and you know it's not proper to do that. There's different ways that we can interrupt the conversation, or there's different way that you can show me or have more attention, right? So you go to the room and you are focusing on the relationship. And what I love about that is, we are not here to have a checklist done. We are here to build a relationship with our child so they can learn the lesson that we are trying to teach. Because if we don't do that, when there is no relationship, there will always be rebellious behavior. So the rebellion behavior comes from the lack of relationship. And that's what I really quickly understand with the different studies that I'm doing on relationship with the kids, with the children, and on mastering your emotion, and even like different type of relationship. You cannot be in a position where you are now both upset, both in a silent treatment mode, both completely not talking to each other. Somebody needs to do something about repairing this moment so it doesn't cut off and disconnect from one day to another, because those little things that you don't do on that day, create a disconnect from one day to another, and then at one point we don't even understand why they don't want to talk to us. So that's what I love about the power repair. I love that there is an actual term about it, because I feel like this is something that, like I say, there's different things that we do already, but we don't understand what's happening in our nervous system, in our brain, and in our understanding of emotion. All of that are connected. And when you are capable of having those conversations, and when you have the maturity of having those conversations, of repairing, apologizing, and feeling okay about doing that, and then they learn to do that themselves. That's the key. Them learn to do that themselves, because now I'm in a relationship with my kids where they feel it and they see when they did it wrong, and they come to me and they say, Mom, I'm sorry. I think I crossed that line and I didn't want that. I really want us to be okay. And the fact that it's important for them that they want to be okay with us, that's the key. That's what we want to work on and work toward. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to share the different things that I'm learning, and the power of repair with that TED Talk with Becky Kennedy was really good, and she has more details about it. But what we need to make sure that it's understanding that the emotional balance is important for us to be able to do that. So yeah, so just make sure that you are attentive and you're paying attention, and you create those one-on-ones, so you create those relationship that it's easy for you to just go back and apologize, or even it's easy for you to go back and have a discussion and explanation of what happened, and then they end up apologizing because now they understand where it's coming from. So we learn to do that, and this is really the Shred Connection tool this week for you to pay attention of this week, and what are the different dynamic that you have, and can you go back and take the habit every evening to make sure that those kids are sleeping, not thinking that there's something wrong with them. Can we take the habit and checking on them? Is everything okay? Did I hurt your feeling today, or did I hurt something? Or even sharing that today, you hurt my feeling by, or you hurt something in the relationship, like there is something that was cut somewhere. Can we have a genuine conversation about that? In every ages you have those different kind of conversation, but you want to make sure that there is not something that is breaking slowly, because those little things, it's slowly. And that's where I'm noticing today, when I see the difference when they are become teenager, is this is what's happening. We are not working toward this whole process of making sure that there is not that fracture throughout the relationship that make us feel like now they really don't feel like being in the room with us. And we just need to make sure that we check on each other, and just like any kind of relationship, we just check at each other. And you can create this habit of doing it every evening or every week, having you one-on-one and making sure we are good, and taking those habits. I have the habit of making sure that I know what are the different beliefs that they're going to sleep on, trying to see if they can share the different things that hurt them today, that somebody says something that now they believe in that. Those are the things that are important, because the moment where the child is losing that spirit, there's something that we can at least try to catch before it's completely gone. So let's make sure that we are not the one at home bragging that spirit. We are not the one contributing to that. So making sure that if it's happening outside, and it will, and it can, and it's okay, but at least we are here and they are home, and they can be safe to talk about those things and be okay, that they don't need to like walk on tiptoes around us, because I don't really want to hurt this whole dynamic this evening. They don't want to ruin the evening because we don't know how mom and dad is going to react, and we have to think about everything. We want to make sure that they have that space that they can talk about things like that. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed, and please hit the subscribe button and share with me the different plan and habit that you have to make sure that you know what your kids are feeling, and what are your one-on-ones. Do you have a one-on-one once a week? What are the places, the different options that you do with your boys, your teenager? We can share the different options so we can like learn from each other and inspire. So just hit the subscribe button. It's going to help me to spread this beautiful channel, and I will see you next time.